La 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 la, wait till I get my money right.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have Sonic FTM up on the screen. They did migrate. This is the best chart for us to use right now when it comes to the price. And so, what I want to call out here, guys, is going back to this October 2021 high. You can see that price right now is down 91.3%. If I flip over to the market cap chart here, from that same point in time right here, the market cap's only down 77%. So you can see we're much higher up here on the market cap than we are down here on the price chart. Okay, so what that tells me is something going on with the tokenomics. I'm not too familiar with the project. I don't own any. This was a request from someone inside my quantum circle. But I do know by looking at the two charts that I'm going to have to use the market cap chart here to measure out this next move. We will then extrapolate that info back over to the price chart. So looking at it on the macro here, we had 5 waves up, 5 waves down, brought us back down into this 4th wave right here. And right now, we see 5 waves up. This is the daily price chart. 5 waves up on the market cap, and right now you can see we're in the middle of a correction here, and it looks like 5 waves down are coming to a completion shortly. So what we would be looking at here is we're still looking for another impulsive move here to the upside. And when I look at the macro here, you see the 5 up and the 5 down, but where we drop to, this 4th wave, tells me that there's most likely one more high coming. If we take this and we invert it, we talk about this crashing pattern on my channel. You had 5 down, you roll back up. We are in wave 4 is where we go. Sorry, I'm using 2 different softwares here. There we go. For a 6, and oftentimes we'll come take that low out one more time for a 7, which means that this would be going this direction. On this chart, it looks like it is down, but really that is up. So what we want to talk about now is what is that final target going to be, and how's it going to look for us getting up there for Sonic. So before I do that, guys, join the Quantum Circle. Entries, exit strategy, emotional and mental clarity, 2 daily macro videos. Link to that is in my bio. That's where I keep the real alpha. So okay, back here. What we want to do now is we want to take fibs from that range high there and pull it all the way down there to the range low. Let me get rid of that box. Okay, this is showing us that what's possible in a full blow off scenario here, a full extension of this range going all the way back to 2021. Okay, the next thing I want to do, I'm going to get rid of this little count in here, is we want to take a look at what's going on here in the more recent time frame stuff, right? So this up here for sure going to be a target. Let's talk about if we see any confluence and what the possibility of that might be. So what I want to do is what it's kind of looking like is going to happen here is we have our 5 waves up, 5 waves down, and we're resting right on top of that first wave there, right? So we're all set for this from a technical perspective to go ahead and take off. Now we're talking about waves 3, 4, and 5 across the board. Looking at Phantom's market cap, most likely what we're looking at here is going to be like a 3-wave move, kind of like an ABC to get us up into new highs. So looking at this right now, you can see we set higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low. Right now still higher low. So what are some levels of interest? I want to take this first 5-wave move, and I want to see what a full extension of that move is, and do we have any confluence of these 5 waves right here. Sure enough, pretty close to the 1618. Up here we see the 3618 of that move. So I know that there's a good chance we're going to hit some resistance up in this area, some pretty heavy resistance. So we'll take it on the macro, the 4-year range. It's the stronger resistance line right there at the 1618. And we want to start to look at these different ranges here. A full extension of this last drop, which we're looking at on a lot of charts, that takes us back to that December high. What's a full extension of that? Takes us out a little bit lower than that area out here. Okay, so what we want to do again is we're looking at this from a conservative mindset here. We know that this is a possibility up here at the 4236, but we got to look at the more recent price action as well over the last few years and figure out where exactly that thing could go. And looking at this, the 1618, that would give us a new high above that. How far is that from our current price level? We're looking at like a 7.2x, 620%, oops, which I know feels low. What's the market cap on FTM? Of course, this doesn't give me the market cap. But we're looking up in this area right now, okay? And we're saying with blow off top potential, we're looking all the way up here. So what I want to do is I want to say conservatively, we're looking at that 1618. Again, with the crashing pattern, that's going to give us one more high over there on the market cap chart. The thing I do need to point out though is if we go back here in this wave 3, that was an alt season right here. Right here from January of 2021 to March of 2021, that thing went 53x, right? So I understand that this thing can get moving once it gets going. We just, first things first, I want us to be careful of these levels up here. That is a pretty conservative target, but saying that this thing's going to go in 18x, that's, you know, on the higher end, still possible. But I do want us to just be a little bit cautious here going into it. So what I'm going to say is my primary target's going to be right here, about 626% from the current price. My secondary blow-off target's going to be a little bit higher. So let's take these numbers here and let's extrapolate them over. So we're looking at 626% from the current price level. 626. And this is also why using the market cap is important, like $2.21, because you're looking at the market cap. This is a new all-time high for the market cap, right? We'll go over to the price chart. This is not for the price chart. I would guess that we're somewhere in the retracement levels here on the price chart. Bam, right on the 618 of the price chart is that measured move there for our conservative target. So just more confluence on the price chart that's an area, and we always talk about the 618, 786 being an area of interest. So again, we'd be setting a new high on the price chart, but what would be, or on the market cap, but what would be happening here on the actual price chart is a macro A, B, C, and then this coincides with a crash and a global depression like we've been talking about. All right, that's our conservative. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it over here. We said 1751. Where is 1751? Damn, pretty close to this 1618 there at 555, right? Even more confluence between the two. But you see, that would be like price being all the way up here at 14 bucks. So if you're not using the market cap, you're just using the price chart, you're gonna miss that move. Okay, so we're not gonna do waves 3, 4, and 5 because this isn't a little bit different of a count. On the price chart, you can see that we're waiting on waves 3, 4, and 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is what we're looking for in there. But when we flip it back over to the market cap chart, we just set a new low on this more recent price structure here. So we just be looking for 3 waves. So the counts on these are a little bit different. What I will say, I guess we could do 3, 4, and 5. I'd be looking on this wave 3 for us to at least run back up to that last local high right there around like $1.50. You could see that thing drop back down into that B wave in the 236 and then go off one more time. What would that look like? And again, this is using the market cap chart as best as we could. I mean, pretty plausible, right? For us to run back up to the high. You could see it even go a little bit higher, but let's look for that. I'm looking at 144, a drop back down to around 95 cents. Let's see, is that about 35 to 50%? Yeah, you could see it drop back even a little bit lower in here, but we'll say conservatively 95 cents and then a blow off up there to 555. That's if we get our most bullish scenario. If we don't, I mean, you could even just see something like this where waves 1 and 5 are the exact same length there, right? Pretty damn close. 127, 140 with wave 3 being the longest. Gets us up into retracements and we roll back over. So I threw a couple different scenarios at you there. The main thing, I'm not going to talk about these waves 3 and 4 in this video. I just want you guys to focus on the conservative target there and our secondary target up here at 555. And again, we use the market cap chart. So that 555 would be a full extension of this market cap chart, which using the recent price action, we're not getting confluence out there. We're getting more confluence into this area here, which that area being the 221. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at, but I'll keep you guys in the loop as we get going here. If you are, set on thinking of a third wave, like I said, look up, maybe around that $1.50 area here for this third wave. And then we're going to have to wait and see, depending on what comes out of the third. If this runs a little heavier, well, then we're probably going to be leaning more towards that, right? So we got to be adaptive. Okay, I am done talking. Like I said, guys, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, access to my portfolio, 2 macro videos a day, my Discord channel access, and I teach you how to do TA just like me. Link to that in the bio. If not, just super appreciative you guys are here. If you could follow, like, repost, I want to get this info out to as many people as I can before it is too late. So hope you're having a great Tuesday. Talk to you in a bit.